Welcome, everyone, to the Expansive CEO podcast. I'm your host, Hannah Chapman, and today I have an absolutely powerhouse entrepreneur on the podcast with me. I'm so excited for this conversation. Rachel DesRochers is a serial entrepreneur. She has been the head of so many amazing projects. She's an international speaker, thought leader on the power of gratitude. We're going to get to that. Community builder, mother, dreamer, author, and podcast host, which is new and exciting. Gratitude and community are the foundation of everything that she creates. And we are going to get into all of it and all of the things that are expanding and growing and just the riding the rocket ship that is following you, Rachel. So
Oh, what
thank
a treat
you.
it is to be here with you and get caught up and see your face and just, oh, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here in the midst of event
Oh, it's
season.
yeah, it's so cool. And I think we have two distinct event seasons, and it's funny because like my team's gonna be like, "Rach, you have an event year," and it really has shifted. I can look back at 2 years ago and how I had this much time, and now I have this much. Like it just keeps molding and moving. But we have a high event season, February through May, which is power. We end with Power to Pursue. And then our second event season kicks off in August, and we literally have events. We probably are participating, speaking at, facilitating, organizing over 30 events from August until our last event in November. And it's just, I love it. I love this vortex. I love the rush. I love the work. I love the long days. Um, yeah, 15 years in, I still don't tire of it. That's so crazy.
Oh my gosh. So, for context,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey.
let's let's give the listeners a little bit of context here,
Oh,
because Power to Pursue has been such an amazing, phenomenal project, and it started in Cincinnati,
yeah.
Ohio, but has since grown. How many cities is it in now?
It's interesting, so yeah, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been building businesses in and around the greater Cincinnati area since 2010. So started with a food company. I have a nonprofit, an Incubator Kitchen that helps food entrepreneurs in Northern Kentucky. We put on the region's only wholesale food show. There's a Rachel Bucket Hannah where that's speaking. I'm an author. I do all this fun projects around the city, but then there's Power to Pursue. And when I talk about Power to Pursue, I think it's one of the most aligned bodies of work I've ever done. But when I say what it is, I go that it's a women's empowerment movement whose mission it is to create a safe space for women to be seen, heard, and loved in. It's this idea that at its core, at our core, we're good and we want good and we want the work to work. And, I think we really do believe in one another. And I think that Power to Pursue is given that space. And we're in Lawrenceburg and we have two other cities that have kind of come online and we're trying to figure out how to do that. This is something I've never done before. Can I grow something outside of the region? And I think that we're navigating it in a way that everyone's willing to figure it out.
Mm,
Because I think what matters the most is that the work stays intact,
mm.
and that no matter where it goes, that Power to Pursue's mission of creating a space for women is there. I think it's really important. So, yeah. Oh, it's so cool.
Well, and being part of that ecosystem, seeing the people that you have been
Yeah,
able
you
to
spoke
bring
at
on.
our we had two well-being summits, and we're reconfiguring it into 2026, actually as a retreat. But we've put on two summits specifically that are specific on women's well-being, which is sexual, financial, and mental well-being, right? And so
Mhm.
you've come into that space even and shared, and Yeah, I think when I talk about, I think that power to pursue at the end of the day is normalizing normal things is the best way that I can think about it. It's the way that every woman I know is in it. Like we're either burned out or we're at the peak of our mountain or we're going through perimenopause or we're struggling to have kids or we don't want kids or like it's just life is lifing. And so, what would it look like if we had a room where we could talk about life versus all of these tools that make us think we need to be better? Like,
Mm,
I want women to have access to their own greatness before they think they need to change anything about it.
mm.
Damn.
Yes.
Like everything that we have access to as women, it has innately taught us that we have to do something different about our own being. Whether it's clothes or sex or makeup or men or women or career, entrepreneur, corporate. And it's like, all of that matters and none of it matters. What matters is your joy. What matters is your hope. What matters is that you're looking at your life going, I am here and I'm present in it. And actually I think I like it a little bit. Ah!
Well, the other thing that you're doing, especially like the Well-Being Summit, was such a cool offshoot of the Power to Pursue Summit in May because women were asking for, they're like, okay, well, what about these topics? Sex, money, mental health.
And I
Like,
think that there's no greater three topics for women that are interconnected in a way.
mhm,
Um, because truly they all impact every woman I know.
right. Yeah. And in so many like you said, interconnected ways, but I mean, it's like from your perspective of like being told that you're doing it wrong, that you don't know enough yet, or you're not like the you're not enoughness
It's
that
that.
can be such a hard thing to deal with, especially I feel the clients that I work with who are especially in their late 30s, early 40s, that's
Yeah.
kind of been like a match lighting point for a lot of women to be like, I'm done. I am done with this, like not feeling like I'm good enough in all of these areas. How do I learn more and like become really grounded in what I do know already, which I think is what you were getting at too.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that it's funny how many times COVID has come into conversations recently in my world. And I
Mhm.
think maybe because we're in year 5 and there's some closure in 5 years, like there's something happened. Universally, it shifted a lot of things for a lot of us. And um I think that part of that shift was the magnitude of being awake because I think it was the first time in all of our lives that we had to sit still in our own shit, if I can
Mhm.
say that, right? And
Mhm.
meaning like you had a real opportunity to look in your home and in your office and in your community because everything got real quiet and real still and you could actually maybe there was clarity. It got quiet enough for the first time in a decade or decades that you heard something greater than, the you finally heard the inner voice, the inner knowing instead of the whole outside world telling you what you should be doing. Like, so isn't that a miracle?
Mhm.
Isn't that a miracle that some we finally had something slow us down enough that quieted the outside world, that the inner world had space? I don't know. I think of it that way, Hannah. I don't know that it's right or wrong. I just know that everyone I know is working really hard. And they're working really hard in every aspect of their life. there's no badge there. It's like, like there's no busy badge. Like none of us want that anymore, right? Like I
Mm-mm.
don't want a busy badge. I
No.
don't want to she accomplished the most. I opened someone's heart
Yeah.
badge. I wanna she made someone believe in themselves badge, right? Like so has the heart, has the works dropped to the space that I want to build from, which is my heart, right? Like, God, I don't know. I love this conversation.
Well, this is like steering exactly into where I wanted to kind of go because you've had, over the last 15 years, you have shifted, you have changed, you have, closed projects that were super valuable and profitable at one point, right? So that you could open up into, sometimes you have to let go of what's good to
Yeah.
make room for what's great and what's coming.
Yeah.
Or
I
you're
think,
just in a new shift. So I would love to hear some of, yeah, what that shift was for you.
well, I tell people, I joke like this all started 15 years ago, 2010, with a brown square cookie. So, like, hold on. This all started 15 years ago. Like literally, I was manufacturing a brown square cookie, not like this gourmet cruffin that's stuffed with local strawberries. Like it was a square. It was
Hmm.
brown. There wasn't anything sexy about it. But from day one, I have always been here because it's always been purpose driven. It has always been mission driven. And so, even with my first company, Grateful Grams, I always said that we were a gratitude company that made a cookie. We weren't a cookie company that talked about gratitude. The cookie was just the vehicle.
Hmm.
And so, I closed Grateful Grams at the end of 2023, and it was one of the best things I've ever done. I wish I would have closed it sooner,
Mm,
only because I had outgrown it.
yeah.
I had outgrown it. I mean, I now what's really incredible is that the work that I'm doing, there isn't even now when I outgrow it, it's different because there's a team that comes in place. There wasn't that with Grateful Grams. Like it had lost that luster.
Mm.
Um, and in hindsight, if I really go back, I have been leading women's circles for 20 years. I have led women's circle in one form or fashion. Um, man, I do I even go back into my late teens? I
Well,
I may have. Like I
yeah.
very well could have been that person because I've always been a gatherer. And so like if I look at Power to Pursue in my opinion is just a women's circle for me. Like that's the energy that I try to hold. And so, you know, maybe that was always it from the beginning. But I needed the other things to become and to like find my voice. Grateful Grams, in a lot of ways, helped me find my voice. It helped me grow up. It
Mhm.
gave me something to be responsible for. That was the seed. Like if I look at Grateful Grams as the seed, Incubator Kitchen Collective then like was the sprout of that seed. And then
Mhm.
Rachel DesRochers is that trunk, and there is that company, and it is the trunk of this tree or, the house that I'm building. And you've got Good and Local, and you've got Power to Pursue, but you have all these community projects, and you have a book, and I speak, and I get to do cool things because I want to be nimble in the work. And Hannah, the thing that I've learned in 15 years is that I'm my best and worst enemy. And
Why? Yeah, tell
now
me why.
that, like I think I'm going to be the thing that holds us back because I'm going to try to control it. And what I've witnessed in 2025 and really through the depth of healing my life and my heart is why I think I have the capacity to work the way I work. But I have a team, and the team all knows how to lift the paddle with me, and the team is trusted. And I can go to my team and be so brutally honest with my insecurities, my vulnerabilities, and my fears, but also with where I need things to shift or change. And like, we're all part of something bigger. And this isn't, I might be driving the boat, but like, everybody has room on the boat, And
Mhm.
so, like, I'm in awe. I could go down to my knees in awe and of gratitude of what I get to do every day.
Yeah.
I mean, and when you go down, it's a bigger crash. And it's okay still because it's not, what if it's all just part of it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I've been through it. I've been through it financially, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, death, divorce, burning the cookies. I've, yeah. And it's all okay too.
This gets into this conversation that is really, really prescient, is really important in this moment. I think before you said, everyone is working really hard, right? We talk about busyness and we talk about not wanting to feel so busy, but also like there's so much to do just in general in life. And then to see you and hear you and feel you so lit up about everything that's happening right now, there is there's the capacity that you have, right? So talking about how do we hold what is here? How have you increased your capacity? And what's so interesting, what I'm piecing together so far, right? That I believe that we all have to go through some sort of crucible. We
Oh,
all so,
I believe everyone needs to have a dark night of the soul.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. And even so Grateful Grams like building and outgrowing it. Like you
Yeah.
said, if you are the trunk, if
Yeah.
you are you, and all of these things are branching off of your beautiful bold energy
Yeah.
that like you had to go through some of those things in order to have the wisdom that you have now and to be able to like shift into
Yeah.
the wisdom keeper and the wisdom facilitator.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
You
Yeah.
can't
Thank
you can't
you.
just
Thank
do that
you.
from a teenager.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's so many, gosh, man, this whole conversation could just be that question. Um, because there's so much I want to say here. So the first thing I want to say is that like grace has taught me to hold it lightly.
Mm.
So I can hold the work, meaning my healing work or my home life work or my work. I can hold it tight. I can try to control it and I can try to like make sure that it knows that I'm there and that I know best. Or I can hold it lightly. I can have conversations with my kids that, about where I'm at mentally, emotionally, and I can be open with where I need help this week or um I can look at my workload this week and go, okay, it's a 65-hour week. Where am I? How am I taking, where's a shower? Or where's my recoup? Or where do I know that I can make sure I have a meal or a water refill, right? Like I'll go down cellularly on some of these things. Part of too is when you're in alignment, the work doesn't feel like there's days that I doesn't feel like work. I don't know. Like I love it. Um I think capacity also comes, Hannah, from looking at your side of the road. My capacity has shifted as I've healed, as I've, as I lost. I dealt with grief with the loss of my mother. My capacity has expanded after healing from divorce and a, a very broken marriage. And my capacity has shifted by learning to put my oxygen mask on first. My capacity has shifted because I've allowed myself, and this is where I get a little, I get a little push a boundary here. I think sometimes we've whitewashed this idea of self-care.
Mhm.
I, Rachel Lee DeRocher, want to change the world. I don't want to change the women of Cincinnati. I want to change the women of the world, but I've got to start in Cincinnati. So this idea of this whitewash of this idyllic lifestyle of, you work, a few hours a day and you go pick tomatoes from your garden and, you sleep 12 hours or 10 hours and you're on the correct hormone combo and, um, the food's organic, right? Like it's just like this idyllic thing that we get told it needs to look like. And that's not at all. I want to disrupt that. And I keep disrupting it. And I've pushed myself past the boundary. I have jumped off the cliff. I never recommend jumping off the cliff. It is hard and it is
Yes.
brutal. But I also know for me personally, it's allowed me to know that I can climb back up to the top when I've jumped off. But it's also allowed me to know or trust when I think I'm getting close to the edge, I actually probably have another 10 or 15 feet there to go. And
Mm.
so what it's done is it's expanded my capacity. It's expanded my capacity to hold the work. I
Mhm.
told somebody this year my only job at Power to Pursue was to hold enough love that for 850, 900 people. I wanted, my intention on May 15th of 2025, that day, was to have enough love in my being that 900 people felt it,
Mm.
that they felt loved, that they felt like they were part of something
Mhm.
that loved all of them, not just the part that they thought was lovable, but every single ounce of them. That was it. I had to jump off of a cliff to get to that point. So for me, the cliff jumping served a purpose, but that's because it made me dig even deeper. It made me heal even deeper. It made me love even bigger. And that sounds so insane. Like I sit sometimes and I go back and I'm like, did I really just say that out loud? But like it's because I am the work and the work is me. It's that I just feel so passionate about it. I believe it so much. And I think extraordinary visions call for extraordinary measures. And now I'm in a season where I don't want to jump off of a cliff and I want to call my team when I feel like my knees are shaking. And, I acknowledged, I felt it when I get to a point I cry. That's my number one signal. And so, like this week, I felt that. And I even shifted it. Like today, I took a few hours and I worked differently in a way that I've never trusted that I could do it.
Mm.
Meaning that I could have a few hours and I could just get the one thing that felt heavy, but I could actually have time for conversation and to move through it without it being structured. My days are so structured because there is so much to accomplish and there are so many meetings to have. And um, I don't have space during this season. Again, it's season. This is the season. This isn't the season comes to an end. So I also know that that helps. That's part of that capacity part. This isn't every day. And even though my seasons continuously to expand, this January of 2025 was the busiest January I've ever had. So I just check in. I know how to check in with myself and say, what do you need in this season? You've not had that, right? Like,
Mhm.
what's your food look like? What does your self-care, what does your sleep look like? What is your I'm a big water intaker, like what does my water? I think all of that. And I think that there's so God, I'll stop. I need to take a breath, but I think that there's so much bullshit we think that we get caught in. I think that entrepreneurs get so caught on the hamster wheel.
Mhm.
And there's so much stuff that you are spending time on that, in my opinion, probably just isn't important, but we're so afraid of letting it go. And I think I'm so grateful that I'm not afraid of letting some of that stuff go.
Mhm.
Um
But that has taken practice, right?
yeah, you
And
have to build the muscle. You have to trust that, I mean, gosh, I didn't take vacations for years because I was so afraid if I walked away, the whole
Mhm.
thing would crumble. So yeah, but you have to walk away for 2 hours. And then one day you have to walk away for 4 hours, right? Like I'm in a season now where I can take 2 weeks off. I can take a 2 week vacation. But having an afternoon that I can move through it and let it unfold, that's something I have to learn. My muscle's weak.
Mm. Mhm.
So like even 15 years in, I still have weak muscles, but I'm willing because I loved how it felt so much. I looked at my friend and I said, this was like a dream day. I recorded podcasts this morning. I got lunch with a friend, which led to we're working on something for another event. And we went and checked out the space so that I could order the right piece. And the sun was out and we walked.
Mm.
And the conversation was great, and the vision was great. And like that, I got to have that day. And I think gratitude has allowed me to witness and be present. I know that that was special today. Like that today was extraordinary.
Mm.
But I think it's extraordinary, Hannah, because I'm so present that I know that it was new. Man, what a gift that 15 years in of building and learning and dreaming and visioning and carrying this work, like I still am in awe of the new and that there still can be new.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool.
Well, and your focus on gratitude always, right? To me, that is one of the things that I come back to all the time. And when I'm working with clients, when we're talking about, one of the ability to receive, opening your capacity to receive more, right? Starts from being grateful for what's here.
Yeah. It's I think it's one of the most clear laws of the universe. Um, I think the human experience happens so fast, and um, I think there's a real beauty in our desire and our want for more. I love that. I think it's a turn on,
Mhm.
like um, get it, go after it, learn how to play
Mhm.
pickleball or make sourdough bread or knit or start a company or be the best janitor. Like again, like none of it, this is where like we get caught up, like none of that matters. Um, I think it was Buddha, like he said, like gratitude's one of the highest forms of enlightenment. And I sit with that because you can easily attach ego there. But this idea that you want more, but yet you don't take a moment to acknowledge like the beauty that's right here,
Mhm.
that I want to build stuff. I want to change the world. I want to hug every person ever, but I don't want to miss it. I don't want
Mhm.
to go so, you know what I mean? So like a daily reflection of wonder and awe, is that maybe gratitude is just a daily reflection of wonder and awe. Gratitude for me also is acknowledging what doesn't work out.
Hmm.
There's a deep appreciation for um hard conversations or hard experiences, and it's if it's all divine in a way, like then what? Then
Yeah.
what's the answer?
Yeah. I like the question, what if this is happening for you?
Yeah. What if
Right.
everything's forward momentum? You know, I I've really been we have so much opportunity of choice. I think that's like we live in America. You have choice, and you can choose to give that choice away. That's giving our power away is something we're very good at. Um, I've had a lot of deep reflection in this year, in this shift that I feel, in this space that I'm in, and it's really come down. And the clearest way is like, the suffering. And as humans, life is going to life. There is going to be a human experience. It's what you had said, right? The crucible, the dark night of the soul. Like you need to go through that. I didn't losing my mom. She was 63 when she died, and that event forever changed my life. But getting divorced and discovering that I wasn't even recognizable with myself, like
Mm.
I've spent the last 2 years rebuilding almost every aspect of my soul, of my heart, of my breath in a way. And and I think I'm trying to go here in that scope of gratitude, Hannah, and tie it into this idea of choice and suffering is because I know I'm getting there. I'm getting to the point. I'm sorry. I took like the longest route here in this
Scenic
story.
route.
I did. I'm a scenic. I will tell you the whole fucking thing,
I
man.
love it.
Uh, but it really boils down in this idea that you can't do anything about it. That's the you can't outlife life.
Hmm.
So then, right, the other side of that is where you can.
Right.
And that's in our choice. And to me, it's so clear. It's like, it's so clear. It's so simple. Then it's in every opportunity of you choosing suffering or not. And suffering is as simple as I like it when my husband does this, but I don't want to tell him because I'm I feel vulnerable.
Hmm.
Or I know that Hannah could answer this financial question for me, but I'm her friend and I don't want to cross the boundary and now I don't know what to do. Or I really love the way that Rachel, did this thing and I'd love to ask her a question, but like, God, she's so busy. I, I will, I think I call that suffering. I think that's when anytime the ego comes in and says, questioning your value, your worth, your voice.
Right.
That's not what we don't want to water that. And so like I want to not choose suffering. I want to talk about it. I want to normalize that you can call Hannah and ask her for help. And she probably
Mhm.
honestly would prefer to help you. And that if I can do anything to help anyone, I would. And even right now, I mean, I'm scheduling people 3 months out and it drives me crazy. And I'm so proud of that.
Why are you proud of that? I have thoughts, but
I'm
why is
proud
that
of it
important?
because I that also means I have boundaries around my time.
Yes.
And I'm proud of it because we're that busy. And that if I have a half an hour right now, I'm strategically making sure that I can read notes for the pre-call, or I can get a drink of water, I can go to the bathroom, like, so that's me being aware, not just with myself though, but it's taking it to the next level and making it aware with my team,
Mhm.
And so because my team's actually the one that would protect my time, the team's actually the one that's taught me how to protect my time. I didn't do that. It was somebody giving over control of my calendar that taught me that I can still leave it all on the court, but I can leave it all on the court with a quarter cup left for me, you know?
Yes.
Um, and so I think that's where gratitude and this capacity and this like it all is. It's all one whole thing here.
Mhm.
It isn't maybe it isn't separated how we've separated it. And all I'm trying to do is reconnect it.
I think that is so critical to see everything as a continuous loop, like suffering and gratitude, like they're not separate from they're not different things.
I wrote a book, and I when I was writing the book, I constantly would tell people like, well, I'm a gratitude, like it's all gratitude. I have given gratitude credit. I started a gratitude practice in fifth or sixth grade, and so I've given gratitude my whole life. But the gift of that book, the gift of the book is actually the truth. And the truth is, gratitude absolutely has been there and is there, but it's actually been grief.
Hmm.
Grief that has expanded me, grief that has pushed me to the edge, grief that has given me the dark night of the soul, grief that has helped me find my voice, grief that has navigated becoming a single mother, grief that has, walked my mom home. Gratitude has just been there to catch me.
Mm.
So grief expands, gratitude catches. Grief expands, gratitude catches. They are one and the same. They are not separate. You are not separate from your suffering, just as you are not separate from your joy.
Mm.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. The way you just described that, I saw so many instances in my own life, like just
it
like
is.
flashing, right? Like that is exactly it.
And go back, you look at spiritual, that's the yin and the yang. Like
Yeah.
God, creator, great. It doesn't matter what you believe. We've been told this our whole life. We've just thought we could outsmart it.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. How
We
do
can
we how do
create
we
a
stay in
tool
the
around it. We can buy a course for 99.99 and it's going to make it all better.
we're gonna
Like
stay in the
that's
joy.
but the human experience, yeah, right? Like, so I encourage you to like be present in your grief and then wrap it in the light. Light is the gratitude. Look at it, examine it. When I teach gratitude, Hannah, I always teach it in the sense that, um, gratitude does not, I think one of the coolest things about it is it doesn't try to take anything away from, meaning that if you are suffering or if you are in it, it is not saying, well, don't suffer. It is not saying suffer less or you big loser. What it's saying is, it's saying, oh, dear girl, I am so sorry you're suffering right now. You know what? Let me tuck you in. Like, be here. It's okay. You're safe. And you got passed up for the promotion because something bigger is coming and you have enough savings that you're going to get through this before, you need to worry. And, your mom just brought over two casseroles, whatever it is, like gratitude just comes and gratitude is, I say that gratitude is the breath. Gratitude is that it's that and there's always the and. And so you just have to be willing. You have to be willing to allow the and to be present. That's the work.
Yes, that. Okay, so you have kids a little bit older than mine, and at the same time you're going, going through
Oh
it,
yeah.
right? So my kids, one of the things that I have really it drives, like, just to be honest, like, it drives me nuts.
Yeah. Oh
It's like,
yeah.
ah, is the like, this is this is not fair, this is wrong, this is bad. That's it. Right. And not expanding to the and so teaching that, like, leading with that, yeah, I notice that in my own body, like, it drives me nuts when they are like, nope, this is it, it's bad and terrible and nothing is ever going to be good again. There's so much and here.
There's so much and like why is that the story? Like
Mhm.
that's the question. Like where did they learn to shut that off? Like I want to ask him like or them, like what are we afraid of the and? Is there something we're afraid of? Like, do you get nervous because is it just because it's unknown? And so can I sit with you and maybe share a little bit more about it, right?
Mhm.
Because yeah, how do you offer that in? How do you offer that gently so that they could hear it, right?
Yeah.
Um, I always go back to, yeah, I don't know. I think kids are so tricky. I tell this story a lot, when Ellis was little, I remember like looking at him, we do roses and thorns around the dinner table, and that's how we talk about the good and the bad. Like I want to normalize that shit happens, right? And I was like, dude, what are you grateful for? And he was like, nothing. And I was like, that is the best teacher I'm gonna ever have. Because in that moment, that was his truth, and I could question his truth or just be with it.
Hmm.
And I could be with it and let it be, or I could make it something, or I could make it this, I'm going to show him,
Yeah.
or I could just continue my practice and I could offer it to him the next day and see if there's a different answer. Again, I could hold it lightly,
Hmm.
or I could like think I could convince him.
Ooh, that's such a tangible example. That's
Yeah.
like, that's a really tangible, that, like, the grace of, like, okay, let's just let that be. We'll see if it's different tomorrow.
Yeah, the question I come back to, and I've sat with this has probably been with me for like the last 12 months. And maybe it fits here. Let's massage it out a little, but like I come back and like I'm like, is it real? Like I ask that if I'm worried about something or like in that moment with my kids, like I'll be like, is it real? Like, is he really grateful for nothing? No, he's 7. Or, like he
Yeah.
thinks it's the cheeky, fun answer. So it's the same kind of situation. Like raising kids is so wild. And I don't know that I've done it the good way or the bad way. I have a lot of things sometimes I wish I could have done different. Um, but I've always told them the truth. I've always communicated to them. I've always made them be part of it, even in like a chore setting. Like this is not my house. This is our home and we live here. And so like we've done a 10-minute tidy. My kids have done their own laundry since they were 7, like there's just been levels of things and maybe that's the entrepreneur in me. But what it really is it's the ensuring it's the human in them.
Yeah.
Like this is just real life. Real life involves laundry and dirty dishes and making dinner and paying bills and budgeting to have experiences. Like I'm not protecting my kids from any of that.
Yeah.
I'm not one of the best parents advice that a mom, she had 7 kids, maybe. I think she had 7. I think this is a teenagers are hard and they're weird. And she said, just let them, you got to let them go and they'll come back one day. She told me, she was like, just close it, close. It was Camden, my oldest, who's on, we're recording this on his birthday. He's 24 today. Happy birthday, Camden. I'm so proud and grateful that I get to be his mom. But she was just like, she said to me, she was like, just close his door.
Mm.
And it's this idea, Hannah, of like, I don't want to see their mess and they can't bring their mess into the rest of the space, but like, you can live your mess. Here's my boundary around it. I need clean sheets once a month. And every week you have to bring the dishes out of your room and put them in the dishwasher. And you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it, because that's just real life. And, I think it's that perspective. I tell my kids now that they're teenagers. I have two teens, and I've said on more than one occasion, like, we can have the normal hard teenage experience where I'm like, oh, raising teens is so hard. They're like, or we don't have to treat each other like assholes. Like
Not.
it's very like, and but we also have to, that means we have to talk. That means we have to communicate. We have to communicate what's working and what's not working. It means we have to ask for help. It means to also, we have to communicate, I have to say no sometimes, or I have to push through and say, I have to say yes to this, right? Like it's all of it. And so, I think raising teens, I think this is one of my most favorite seasons of parenting.
Mm. I the more my kids grow up, my youngest is 10, they're 10, 12, and 14.
Yeah.
Um, I feel that all the time. Like this is kind of once they all hit like the youngest hit 5.
No, it's the whole hand. I tell people, I
Right.
tell them, I'm like the whole hand. There's something about the kid turning the whole hand,
Yeah,
right?
things shift for
It
sure.
does.
But my teenager has been so um she's so in touch with her emotions. She is very emotional. She has big emotional expression. She did not want to move. We moved, a couple months ago, but we started telling them about it more than a year ago to give them time to emotionally prepare. But even in the moment, like she did not want to move. And kind of to your point, like the conversations we've had over and over again over this time was, can you don't have to be happy about it. I'm not asking you to
Yeah,
pretend to be happy and like just swallow it all down. We need to hear what's happening for you,
yeah,
but can you be open
right.
to
It's
the fact that something might be good? Just open.
it's how do you create those and moments,
Hmm.
right? Like, is it the mom-daughter coffee date at the new coffee shop where you can explore the new town together and there's no other noise around and it's one of those and moments. Like, I know this is hard and look, we found a special spot that's just ours now, and we can do this together. Like, I'm scared too. Like, you left something too. And I think that it's that, right? Um, it's that level of vulnerability. And I think sometimes that as parents, we think we have to be brave all of the time, or we have to know it all. And I think sometimes it's just saying, I'm scared too,
Hmm.
or I don't know. Mine is it's that that we can't pivot sometimes. Like I have to like my pl- yeah, I think that's it, right? It's like I have a relationship with my kids in a way because I let them know when I'm scared too. And I think that it's this idea that just because I'm the mom,
Mm.
you know?
I like the reminder that this is our first time doing life too. This is our
Yeah.
this is our first time being moms.
Yeah, and I look at my oldest, there's a big enough age gap there, and I learned so much. I learned so much what not to do. I think it's the typical first. I think that um And there's no regrets, he's a cool kid, but yeah, things that I stressed about or they're just trying to become. What
Mhm.
an odd, hard thing,
Yeah.
you know?
It's messy and awkward and
Yeah, and they smell or you know what I mean? Like, because I mean, we're just trying to become two.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Rachel, I could literally talk to you for like 5 more hours.
I know. I
There are
love
so many rabbit holes that I stopped myself from going down. Thank you so much. And I want to make sure that we have time for you to, because this episode is being recorded in September and dropping in September as well
Oh, awesome.
before the whole season is done. So where can
Yeah.
people find out more? Where is the energy going right now? Where can
Yeah.
we direct them?
I will say, so we're working on this right now. And one of the things we're working on is really just driving into the Gratitude Collective. So the gratitudecollective.org or on Instagram as the Gratitude Collective. What we're trying to do is universally shift our voice. I have four companies. There's Incubator Kitchen Collective, Good and Local Food Show, Power to Pursue, and Rachel DesRochers, and then the Gratitude Collective. So there's five total, but it's a space where we're trying to unify the voice finally, but you could
Mm.
also follow us along any of those. If you're a woman and you really want to get involved in any of the Power to Pursue or know about that, I always highly suggest signing up for the Power to Pursue emails, which is the powertopursue.org. It's very good and run like a machine where the gratitude collective machine we're building, so it's going to take us a little bit of time, but we're really working on that. Of course, I'm active on Instagram at Rachel DesRochers, and so of course follow me there. I do a lot of writing there, and share, I think, pretty consistently about where we're going to be. We have so much fun coming up in October and November. So if you are local, please come and join us. We are in October. We're part of Startup Cincy Week, so we're doing tons of program for Startup Week. Um, my team is building out a really cool event called America's River Roots. We're part of the build team, and we're creating a huge one-of-a-kind artisan market across the Purple People Bridge.
Cool.
I'm
That's going to be
interviewing
fun.
this incredible poet in November. Kate Bear is coming in town. She's a national poet and she's speaking at Mercantile Library. So that's free. We have our annual fundraiser called Taste of Gratitude, which is a big dinner by the bite. We have our big women's makers market. So, like, we are in it. I'm speaking at a bunch of places. It's so cool. So yeah, come and play with us. Please, 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 please come and play with us. I will shamelessly or not shamelessly plug my book, The Mourning Light. It's available on Amazon. So if you are interested in hearing more of my story, there's also a 90-day gratitude journal called The Shift to Light, and those are both available on Amazon and barnesandnoble.com. And if you ever were feeling called to start a gratitude practice, I think that journal is just a really beautiful way. Um, I've been teaching gratitude for a really long time, and there's a lot of unlearning that I think we need to do. And I think that the journal, one of my favorite things about it is that it offers gratitude in a micro way, which allows you to take a nibble instead of the whole bite. And I think it allows you to build a more sustainable practice because of it. So, and we have a podcast. So if you want to hear more conversations, I think like this, where I'm talking to women who are in pursuit of hope, I say that every woman I know, Hannah, is in pursuit of hope, desire, or dream, right? Good cup of coffee or perfect underwear or better sleep or how to ask for the raise. And so the Power to Pursue podcast is out there and we're having these conversations, and it's invigorating to hear trials and tribulations and bear witness to trials and tribulations and hope and grief and gratitude every day of my life. So thank you so much for having me here to share with your audience. And oh my gosh, please, 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 please come and be part of our community too. So thank you for your time.
Oh, Rachel, I'm honored to have you. I am so I am so grateful for this time with you today. I have also had an amazing day. So
Nine nine
we're just
and
vibing.
999 because it's 25. So I was reading that, right? Like all I love all the witchy number stuff. I'll take it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, that is amazing. And all of those links will be in the show notes. All of the plug that I will do right now is that all of the events that you and your team run are so well done. Everyone is so taken care of. The food is amazing. The community is so well curated. So yes, like if you are anywhere near within like 50, 100 miles of Cincinnati, like
Oh,
go.
thank you. That means so
So
much. Thank
it's
you.
so
Thank you.
good. It's so
Thank you.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. We're having the time of our life. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. So appreciate it. And I hope the rest of your day and week is just amazing in this vortex that you are continuing to be the eye of.
Thank you.
That's it for this episode. Thanks for listening and be sure to like and subscribe. And again, if anything resonated with you from this episode, I would love to hear from you. Email me at Hannah, HANNAH, at expansiveceo.com and tell me about it. And if you're ready for your greatest expansion, you can find ways to work with me at expansiveceo.com and at x2wealthplanning.com. That's X, the numeral 2, wealthplanning.com. So until next time, remember that there is enough, you are enough, and your birthright in this lifetime is to be expansive.